Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Jean from Instagram Live, and it's in the Netherlands. It's That's where I'm originally from. We call this second Christmas Day or Boxing Day, But in the U.S., everything is back to normal, right? We only have one Christmas Day. So as always, on every Saturday, Christmas or not, it's Instagram Live with Jean, and this is also in the podcast Thrive Not Survive After Child Abuse. So, always a double recording on Saturday, 10 o'clock. If this is the first time that you listen to my Instagram Live, um, thank you so much for being here. And of course, if you are a returning listener, then welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I will also post this on my podcast. The question of today was, can you change your life in 30 days? Can you change your life in 30 days? Wow, that's a big question, right? Some people cannot even change their life in their entire life, and other people do it in a way shorter time. Now, there is a saying, is some people completely overestimate what they can do in a day, but they underestimate what they can do in a year. So they overestimate what they do in a day, but they can do in a day, but they underestimate what they can do in a year. And what does that mean is that if it comes to a daily planning that we make, we can do more in a day than we actually do. And that's normally the mundane stuff, like cleaning the house, or maybe it's working on a task list for your work, or things like that, right? We kind of overestimate what we can do right there. So the smaller stuff, which is often a lot of clutter if you think about, we kind of overestimate what we can do. If it comes to the larger stuff, the reason why it's harder to get to those stuff is because we don't plan, and we also have a really hard time to say no to things, right? So if you want to make a big change, it's often, first of all, deciding what you're not going to do. Yeah, if you want to decide what you're going to do, you first need to decide what you are not going to do. So actually, I like this question a lot. What can you change? Can you change your life in 30 days? Because it is, after all, almost the end of the year. And at any new year, a lot of people at least make a lot of New Year's resolutions. It's kind of a fun thing. Some people take it very serious. Other people, think at second Christmas Day, or second New Year's Day, by the way, January 2nd, who cares, right? But most people out of research actually think that after 14 days, it actually stops already. Yeah, after 14 days, um, most people forget their New Year's resolutions and go back to their normal rhythm. And the reason why I say that, because if you want to make a change in 30 days, you have to consciously interrupt and disrupt your normal rhythm. If you want to make a change in 30 days, I'm not saying that you should, but the question was there. I think you can. You have to interrupt and disrupt everything that you did so far, right? So if you were like a late sleeper, right, then just wake up early, right? Take as much as you can out of a day. Don't ruin your health, but make sure that you have a good energy as well, but you have to disrupt every day. And then, of course, the question was so open, so I don't know exactly what was meant with that. Is that, can you change your health in 30 days? Yeah, I think you can push it definitely in 30 days in a completely different direction than you were before, right? So in 30 days, you can already take on a really good habit to change your health in a good direction. So yeah, health, yes. If this question was meant, can you change your money situation in 30 days? It's possible if you're lucky and you buy a lottery and you win it, then you have changed your life in 30 days. But I think it's also a little bit more serious than that, right? So that's maybe a little bit harder, but you can actually make a good starter with it, right? You can make a do. Doesn't really matter what the circumstances are, but if you know that your money train is not going into the right direction, you could spend another 30 days thinking about it, or you can radically change it. You can change your job if you have a job. that can be done in 30 days. Can you find maybe your dream job in 30 days? I don't know. Can you start your own company in 30 days? Actually, you can, right? So even that is possible. Now, obviously, if you spend, and here's the kicker actually, obviously, if you spend most of your time of those 30 days thinking and you are more in your head than in action, then it becomes actually truly really hard to make any change at all. So, to make any change at all in life, you have to be willing to be, first of all, uncomfortable. So that's the disruptive thing that I talked about. And secondly, you have to get out of your head. So you have to come in action. So let's break those 30 days down into smaller pieces, right? Every change happens in small pieces. It doesn't happen maybe in one big piece, right? Except if you win the lottery, of course. But let's say you need to spend a day. Yeah, literally, you only need to spend a really good one day to think about what it is that you want to change, and then you put it into action. And everything that you come up with, make an action. So I'm okay if you start with that. Let's say tomorrow, that would be December 27. You start with that, and then you end in January 26 or so. So think about it, what you could do. Don't think about it more than one day, right? Think about it one day. Now, in the bigger picture, if you want to say, I want to spend a year to change my life, this is the reason why sometimes people don't make a change in a year, because now they start to feel that they have all the time in the world. But the same thing is here. Don't spend more than 2 days to make your plans, right? You can always, alter your plans, right? If you think about it like driving a car, you want to go to anywhere you want to go. Let's say it's an hour from here. From that hour, how much time do you spend typing in your GPS where you want to go to? You don't take half an hour to figure out how your GPS works. You do that in less than a minute, right? There are three alternatives. Most of the time it's an alternative, right? You can take the highway, but it costs you money, but it's faster. You can avoid all the highways, but it takes you a little bit longer. Or some second, third alternative route, right? But you have to make a decision. Normally, you kind of already know what you are leaning towards, like no tollways or shortest way. Obviously, I always take the shortest way. If there's traffic jam, then there is maybe an alternative route how you can change it. So you don't from the 30 minutes that you drive, you only take maybe 1 minute to really think about how you're going to drive. And why is this a good example? Because you have driven a car so often that you know that all the unexpected things in on the road you probably can handle, right? You probably handle. You know actually that there's always something that could happen that you can't handle. You know that. That's the risk that you take. Well, that's what you need to be willing to do when you want to make the change in your life in 30 days. A lot of things you actually know. If you had a life, you're capable of a lot of things to handle when they actually, cross your path, not before, right? You don't have to see further, as I say, in the dark than your headlight shines. You don't have to know. The road typically don't stop suddenly, right? Normally the road just keep going, right? Even if you can't see it. So you need to make a plan, take the least amount of time possible with your plan, right? Let's say a day, that is today. So take your journal out, write down your plan, and then start doing things. Don't overthink things. So that's one thing. So the first step of changing your life in 30 days is pure a mindset, right? You need to be willing to be uncomfortable and to be very disruptive to the pattern you lived in today, right? Second thing you need to do, you need to make a plan. But you need to make a plan in the least amount of time possible, maximum a day, right? And then the only thing you should do is coming into action. Now, it's like digging a well, right? If you want to dig a well in 30 days, which is possible in most countries, right? If you start digging a well and you start digging here, and then you decide like, maybe, a few feet, further down, maybe that's a better spot to dig a well. Then after 30 days, you just probably have 30 holes and didn't find any water, right? So you have to take that risk that once you start digging that well, that's after you make your plan, you keep digging. And just, this is a little bit of thing, this is because it's only 30 days. You hope your plan was good really well, and you keep digging until you hit that water. Now I can tell you this, if you didn't hit that water after 30 days, don't stop, because eventually you will, right? Eventually you will. Most of the time, actually, I like this exercise because it's a little bit challenging, but you can really reflect it to the normal things in life, right? We often start to dig a well here, and it could be in a relationship, for instance, that we think, oh, this is a really good relationship I'm in. And then we get bored about it, or maybe things are not so romantic as they used to be, or you get into all kind of quarrels, all kind of things. You said, okay, let's pack our bags and just we go somewhere else, and then we start a new relationship. Sometimes that is true, right? If you hit, like say like a hard plate in the ground that when you know that it's granite, there's no way I can dig through this, then you need to just do that. In a lot of cases, not the case. In a lot of cases, it's just tenacity. You keep going what you're doing. But in case if you hit that hard rock, then maybe you cannot blast your way through it, right? That would not be a good thing at all. So there are cases where you do that. The same thing is with other things in life, right? A lot of people say to me, I'm a sports coach also, I want to be a world champion. Are you willing to do the work to become a world champion? So do you have the tenacity? Do you have do you have the willingness to keep going what you're doing? Now, in 30 days, that means you need to be working hard, relentlessly working on that one thing that you want to achieve after 30 days. There's no time for distraction. There's no time for binge watching. There's no time for binge eating. You need to be relentlessly going to where you want to go. And I can promise you, I don't know, of course, what your goal is, but I can promise you in 30 days you will reach more than you can. And if you see in what you have received a sliver of hope, and most of the time that will happen, then you know that you're on the right path. So maybe you won't receive it in 30 days, but you will see a big change already in 30 days that can give you a good direction of how to take it on very further. So I like that because a lot of people make a year plan, and in the last couple of days I had a lot of talks about that. That's often not a good plan. So let me give you an example. If you say, hey, I want to be more fit, that is not a real goal, right? A real goal is when you say, I am going to exercise every day because that makes me fit. So very often we describe our goals as a result that we achieve, and it's good to keep your result in mind, by the way, but it's not a workable goal, right? So this is also true for your 30-day plan. Make sure that in that day, which is today, right, only one day, you think about what you want to achieve. Make sure that you have, not at least for 2, 3 to 4 days out, the actions that you want to do. Spend just 5 to 10 minutes every day reflecting on what you did and what you want to go to do the next day, and then keep doing it, right? Don't think about it. Think about the people who are digging a well. You can overthink about it, how sore your arms are. You can think about it, I have other things to do. I could watch television at the moment, but that's not getting to your well. Your well is going to be there if you keep digging and digging and digging, right? So whatever your goal is in those 30 days, right? And I hope it's a good goal. I hope you share it, actually, by the way. This recording will be posted on Instagram TV. So it will be really cool if you write down what your goal is. And let's check up on each other. I mean, it's now December 26th, right? So let's say January 26, 27, come back to me and let me know what your goal is. There is a little bit of background noise here, so apologize for that. But having said that, I wish you, I think I speak now. I wish you a very good new year. and a good start of the new year. I'll speak to you next Saturday, and that will be January 2nd, I guess. So that's when we'll speak each other again. This was Shaw with Instagram Live. The question we answered today was, can you change your life in 30 days? Right? I wish you a very good new year. Happy New Year. Good start of the year. And I hope to speak to you next Saturday, 10 a.m. Dallas time. If you like to hear us more, then then follow us on The Place on Tuesday at 12 p.m. And I'm also on a daily podcast. So, anyhow, good opportunities to see and hear me any way you want. Okay, bye bye.